this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review. We'll be looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP, the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Thursday the 1st of July. Looking at Bitcoin against the US dollar, bearish start to the day. Going to need to see Bitcoin move through the pivot at 35,197 to take a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 35,965. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break out from 35,500 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level, a resistance at 36,000 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Bitcoin test resistance at the second major resistance level at 36,868 before any pullback. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 34,294 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should avoid sub 33,000 levels. Second major support level at 33,526 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, we have a narrowing of the bearish histograms through the turn of the day, so look out for a possible bullish cross through the morning. On the EMAs, the 50 is holding its ground against the 100 and the 200, so that's still a bullish indicator. So key through the early part of the day would be to move through the pivot at 35,197 and back through to 35,500 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play. Cost Ethereum against US dollar also bearish this morning. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid the pivot at 2218 to take a run at the first major resistance level, so at 2347. Going to see plenty of support from the broader market, however, for Ethereum to break back through to 2300 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of another rally, should see Ethereum test resistance at 2500 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 2417. Fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 2148 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should still well clear of sub 2000 levels. Second major support level at 2019 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, slight narrowing of the bullish histograms at the turn of the day, but nothing suggestive of a bullish morning ahead, so keep an eye on that. On the EMAs, that's a bullish signal, with the 50 pulling further away from the 100 and the 200, and the 100 also pulling away from the 200, suggesting further upside ahead. So key would be to avoid the pivot at 2218 and break out from yesterday's high 2288 to bring resistance levels into play. Moving across to Litecoin against US dollar, also bearish. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid a fallback through the pivot at 143 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 149. Going to need to see support from the broader market, however, for Litecoin to break out from yesterday's high. It was at 146.94. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 150 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Litecoin target 160 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 153. Fallback through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 138 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should still well clear of sub 130s. Second major support level 132 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, slight narrowing of the bullish histograms at the turn of the day, but nothing suggestive of a bearish cross, so keep an eye out for that. On the EMAs, bullish signal with the 50 pulling further away from the 100 and the 200, and the 100 also pulling away from the 200, suggesting further upside ahead. So key would be to avoid a fallback through the pivot at 143 and break through yesterday's high 146.94 to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will come into play. Looking at Ripple's XRP against US dollar, also bearish start. Going to see Ripple's XRP avoid the pivot at 6883 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 0.7280. Going to see plenty of support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break out from yesterday's high that was at 71322. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, should see Ripple's XRP target 0.80 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 0.7529. Fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 6633 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should stay clear of the second major support level at 0.6236. Looking at the MACDs, we got a slight narrowing of the bullish histograms at the turn of the day, but no sign of a bearish cross as yet, so monitor that through the morning. More significantly, on the EMA, the 50 has pulled further away from the 100 and the 200, with the 100 closing in on the 200, so look out for a bullish cross there, the 100 through the 200. So key through the early part of the day would be to avoid the pivot at 6883 and break back through to 71 levels and break through yesterday's high 71322 to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will come into play.